The most toxic phrases I hear right now are, everyone is hiring, and no one wants to work. I just walked out of a job. I am 42 years old and have 2 certifications. I have a degree in IT and was certified as a medical assistant right before COVID. Right after COVID, employers seem to adopt this attitude that every employee should walk onto the job with no training. We are short-staffed is their new mantra, so we need someone who can pick up on things quick. If you mess up, you'd better have a damn good excuse, and it can't be lack of training because that's not our fault. The job I walked out on this morning put me at the front desk of a busy medical office on day 1. With no training. They said they assumed since I have knowledge in IT I should be quick with their software, and that I am probably good with HIPAA and dealing with patients. $15 an hour. Never mind that their practice, gastroenterology, had their own set of rules, procedures, and separate billing software I never used. After day 4, I was reprimanded for running someone's credit card wrong and had to stay over an extra hour to fix my mistake with a supervisor who said billing was probably going to call and tell me this is unacceptable. I was reprimanded this morning again and left. I posted my qualifications on a local job site and some old dude wrote, "Everyone is hiring you. Probably just want paid $20 an hour to do nothing." Quote, "No asshole. I just want training. A job that will help me when I make a mistake instead of writing me up. And good management. Geez. And pay is so low across the board that the politicians are making it legal to send the children back into the mines. Employers are being ridiculous. It should be a workers' market with the high attrition, boomer retirements and open jobs right now. But instead you have employers posting jobs with ultra-specific qualifications saying, must have a master's degree in making bee widgets. Have a master's degree in making a widgets? Unqualified. Next candidate. But all the companies have signs permanently printed on their front windows that they are hiring. They must be serious about hiring and not just creating a supply line in order to gain leverage over their existing employees. Everything is always an excuse to dodge training, investment, and most importantly, regulations and laws. Everything. Every cost-cutting, corner-cutting, time-dodging behavior these management idiots think up is always trying to break the law and evade proper procedures that are there for very specific, very important reasons. Those rules are written in the blood of the people who were harmed by the people that broke them in the past. $20 per hour isn't even enough anyway, let alone $15. You should be making way more. Assuming this is USA. Usually the people who say both those things are the same people. And usually they're managers who then reject 90% of applicants for various arbitrary reasons such as too liberal, too vegan, too young, too mouthy, etc. No one wants to work is true. I just need money. Why are companies not training people for very specific processes? How can you even realistically perform otherwise? My wife and I wonder this all the time. It's complete insanity. Training is like non-existent anymore. My mom and my friend's dad could walk into a place and get trained to be an engineer with on-the-job training. Now, we gotta come in knowing everything with a degree. It's a joke now. Searching for work is worse than working, as you see hiring signs, but no one actually hires. I am an attorney at a law firm. We are pulled into very specific areas of practice all the time. There is absolutely no training in these specific areas. The powers that be do not care and are just concerned about collecting retainers. Told to figure it out because they know lawyers are held to certain individual standards and can have personal grievances filed against them. Does not matter to the firm. We must make employers fear the strike again. One issue I see often in my area is that yes, a lot of people are hiring, but the requirements for the jobs are what's stopping them. Like, 3 years minimum in this field required to start. If you really need people, you would dial it down a lot. Be willing to train. Recently got let go and my boss, love to use, no one wants to work. Also thought fast food were high school jobs, but God forbid if McDonald's was short-staffed on a weekday morning. He needed that breakfast sandwich. But where would these high school kids be on a school day morning? Not working. Would just randomly decide we were going to use new tools. We were IT, but wanted to give no time to train on them. You should do that, on your personal time. Kept ignoring my requests for time to train. Then let go for legally threatening him by quoting labor laws saying I need to be paid for my training time. Yup. The company that hired me was desperate. But I got thrown into the thick of it. They me to do jobs they previously never mentioned before. No training. Just high expectations. I'm happy to be gone. Just thrown into the deep end and became food for the sharks. It shouldn't matter if you're qualified or not. Every company works differently. They each have their own routines and procedures that differ for the same role. Policies always update to keep from lawsuits, accidents at work, and stopping workers from misbehaving. Training is mandatory no matter your experience. Everyone may be hiring, but they are being extremely picky on who they hire. Had 4 different interviews with Carvana only to be ghosted. I then found out through a friend that the guy that first interviewed me, that would have been my team lead, left Carvana. The ghosting seems to have been a good sign. I completely agree with you. The lack of training on most jobs right now is ridiculous. At every place I've worked, the most training they've done is a video that you don't even watch before you start the job. Or go ask this coworker who is busy doing their own job for help if you can't figure it out on your own, which is ridiculous. Having a degree or experience in the field doesn't mean someone isn't going to need some specific on-site training. These places wonder why their turnover rate is so high and the fact that the learning curve is so difficult and stressful because of under-training is definitely a factor. Like, why would we want to put up with that? Especially when there are plenty of other places hiring for $15 an hour. It's not like that's high. The new work model is disposable labor. The only job listings nowadays are the places that look to break you down through rigorous abuse, and then toss you to the curb for maybe $16 per hour if you're lucky. They aren't looking for long-term employment. They aren't looking to keep employees. And the employers that don't utilize this model are already appropriately staffed up. If they can cover even 3 days with cheap labor, they've decided it's better to get those 3 days than none at all. Hence, everyone is hiring, yet no one wants to work. My sister had this exact same thing happen to her. During the top of C-19, the travel agency she worked for closed, hired at a dentist office. And in an NQ the same exact scenario you experienced. You dodged a bullet op. Yes! Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. How I feel exactly. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.